Oh, hello again, YouTube. Welcome back to The Binding of Isaac, and I am doing another, I guess we'll call it another super secret episode, because I am not streaming currently. I'm just recording this in the morning because a change of plans means I can't record for YouTube too. And I just felt like it. Let's see who we're playing as first, although I'm not sure I should be calling these super secret, because I feel like I'm accidentally being clickbaity. Okay, well, Tainted Jacob it is. We have nothing done with this guy, so let's just aim for the chest. Yeah, I feel like calling these super secret, which is accurate, because I don't tell stream I do these. But if you're just looking for Binding of Isaac stuff and you see something called super secret, you might think someone is talking about a literal secret in the game, which I'm obviously not. The game is just a background to me talking. But I've started, so I'll finish, so this probably will be called Super Secret 2. The world. We have no bombs. And it's probably going to be shorter than the last one, given that we're playing as Tainted Jacob. Well, if we die super quick, I'll obviously start again. I need to get reused to using Anima Sola. And the fact that he can't die. So yeah, I did have some recording planned. Oh yeah, never being able to sit still as well. I did have some recording planned for YouTube too, but then I found out I've got something coming in the mail, and I want to do an unboxing, a very timely unboxing, which I think I talked about last time. That was because I foolishly suspected that a Night Models delivery would arrive when it's supposed to, and it didn't. This time though, it's not related to Night Models or their very haphazard approach to shipping things when they say they're going to ship things. So it is going to arrive for sure, and then I have to reorganize the videos I've already got, which also actually gives me a lead time of a couple of days. I know this is super interesting stuff, incidentally. So it means I have a little bit of time to spare, but I actually want to be productive. I have a couple of miniatures behind me with a wash drying that will take like 20 minutes at least. Oh, what am I painting? I hear you not ask in my head. A couple of, these are very unfortunately named, but a couple of Imperial Death Troopers, which might paint the picture of the Empire being bad, but I assure you it's just a name. And I will stand by my stance that the Empire would be fine if it wasn't led by a crazy Sith. Maybe. But yeah, when you have soldiers like who on their resume would be like, yeah, I served in the Empire for a couple of years, I was an Imperial Death Trooper, I think that's probably going to affect your future job prospects going forwards. Take that. I would like you to get out of the way so I can... There we are. Models for a game I've never played. But I'm trying very hard to not just make, when I do these, and again, it's going to be once in a blue moon, but when I do these, to not just talk about inside baseball stuff and that kind of thing, but what else can you talk about, really? Especially when there's no prompts from chat about movies or whatever. I haven't been keeping up with Obi-Wan, I haven't been keeping up with Miss Marvel. And there was some new stuff, like there was a conversation overnight in Discord that I wanted to talk about, regarding a new feature that Twitch added that apparently streamers asked for, which is quite interesting because it literally lets you rewrite history, which is very strange. Insert picture of Thanos with the reality gem here. But there's a thing on Twitch where the first 25 people who ever subbed to you, as in like paid money for a sub, there's a special badge they added a couple of years back where they can have that set as their badge. It just shows that they were one of the first people to support you, which is a nice thing. But apparently people were requesting that Twitch add the ability to edit those. And you might be thinking, well, why would you do that? And I was asking myself the same question when I saw this being talked about in Discord. It's like, your first 25 or your first 25, what does it matter? And then I had a little look at my first 25, of which one person is still subscribed, so shout out to Mr. Conchu if you watch these, thank you very much. I know you don't make the live streams very much, so you must be watching the VODs, so I appreciate it. Of the 24 others, two accounts no longer exist, as in it's not just that they unfollowed or unsubscribed, they're literally gone. I don't know if that means they manually closed it or if Twitch, you know, gave them the old take behind a barn gunshot to the back of the head type thing. Don't know, doesn't tell you that. And then I was noticing, like, it's an interesting problem because I was looking through the list of the first 25. There is people in there that I wish were not there, including someone who I no longer associate with due to them being a racist. And I was looking at that thinking, I would love to take away that badge. They don't even use it, they're not subbed to me anymore. But I don't like being associated with someone who was a racist. But it's history. Like, they were one of the first 25 people to sub to me. I didn't know at the time that they were like that. And once they were like that, they were never back on the show again. But I would love to get rid of it, but at the same time, why? And the reason Twitch is giving is you give it to the next person in line. So if you remove one person from the 25, the 26th person would then get access to the badge. And I suppose in the long run it doesn't really matter, because who pays attention to that or would even know besides the streamer? But I did find it interesting that you were getting given this ability. And that people requested it. Like, I'm surprised anyone cared enough. Oh, they're dead. That person in question is a sticking point for me in general because I never liked them. But I wanted to avoid the difficult social aspect of being like, hey, I really don't want you to be here. And back then I was a bit more gun shy about, well, I still am a bit gun shy about drama, honestly, especially internet drama. It's like, what's the point? But it was very uncomfortable to have any kind of not even altercation, just uncomfortable conversation in a live setting, in a setting in general if you're, you know, socially inept, but especially live in front of an audience. And if you do an open invite to the people who usually play games with you, and this is like back in the Overwatch time I'm talking about, so you put out an open invitation of, hey, would anyone like to play? And then one person goes, sure, I'll play. And then that's the one person you really wish didn't say that. Because, I mean, part of the other reason is not just because I didn't think they were a good fit for the show, but because, I mean, I found them annoying, but that doesn't necessarily mean they were annoying, so I think that's also partially why I just kind of let it slide. It's like, maybe this is a me thing, maybe this is a Chris Pratt type situation where the hatred is irrational. Although looking back, I'm not sure it was irrational, especially upon them thinking that it was casually okay to be racist on my stream and then surprise Pikachu face when they get kicked off and never invited again. That tells me that my judge of character was correct, but I can't pretend that I ever assumed that they were like that. I just thought they were, pardon my French, I thought they were fucking annoying. Like, really, really annoying. And I should not have put up with it for as long as I did, because it definitely negatively affected both me and my streams. But that was a long time ago, obviously. Back, I mean, I've had partnership on Twitch for 5 years now, or you know, access to subscriptions and whatnot. So it must have been a long time ago. And they didn't stick around for long. But there was other names in there where it's like, I remember these people, and I do wish I knew what happened to everybody, but that's always been my problem. I like knowing why things are the way they are, even if knowing is sometimes worse. It's like, did they die? Maybe they just maybe they graduated and grew out of watching Twitch. That happens a lot. I don't know. It's weird. But the whole point of this was the revisionist history type thing, like being able to change. Oh, why did that fire so many shots there? Oh, because I was in this. That's pretty cool. Being able to change the history of your channel just because you don't like what it is. It's like having the reality stone, and would you abuse it? And I think most people would. Apparently there was some glitches with the thing Twitch was doing though, because the feature, quote unquote feature, has been removed. Am I going to use it? I mean, I don't know, probably. I think I am. Like, the ones that are deleted, I see no reason to have those badges be on accounts which literally no longer exist on the site. It doesn't even show you what the name was, and I have no idea who it was, because it won't tell you. So I don't see any reason to have a badge assigned, even though it's whoever used to own that deleted account was owed a badge. In terms of the ones who have badges that I don't like, that's a little bit trickier, and I haven't reached a decision regarding that. But I thought it'd be interesting to bring it up. Like, if you had that power over your own... Like, put yourself in my position, or just your average streamer's position, what would you do in that situation? There's nothing wrong with people who have no longer subscribed, but you can, that's the other thing with the system. You can remove it from people who just aren't subscribed anymore. And that seems like something that shouldn't be. Because people are allowed to... I don't even think this will protect me from obtaining a diesel. Milk, would have preferred soy milk, which is weird to say, but... I've been very reflective of... Well, I mean, you should know this if you saw the other secret episode, but I've been very reflective of everything I've been doing wrong recently, and kind of looking back and being like, I could have done that a little bit different, could have done this a little bit different. Letting it slide by having people on the stream that I didn't want on the stream because I didn't want to have to say no. Back in the day, definitely hurt. Brought out the worst of me because I'd be getting moody or just like grumpy and not wanting to talk. And when you're streaming and not particularly great at the game you're streaming, all you have is your talking, your anecdotes and your blathering. So if that's been diminished because you've got someone you don't like just non-stop yapping in your ear, it definitely has a negative effect. Although if you actually do have a sizable viewership, you do get exposed to the just general level of madness that some people have. Like, not everything that people were upset with me with back in the days of having a lot of viewers was my fault. That was their issues being focused on me. Let's just go down. The run is not going well, if you'd like an update on the run. Maybe you're just listening. We're alive, but not going so well. I'm trying to think of what else affected things, but because Overwatch was my pseudo rise to fame, it's the only thing I can look at and look for what went wrong, because other stuff doesn't really make a difference. Like the Monster Hunter stuff or the anime stuff back in the day. I actually like that the anime stuff is still on my channel. Just today, an account from someone who watched it when they were young, who came back to the video and was like, oh, 9 years later, I'm so and so years old and this is still epic. Not because I did it, just because, you know, anime video games be like that. And that's nice. It's nice that there's that record. But when I think back to the streams where I definitely should have been doing things different, a lot different, if I wanted it to carry on the way it was going. I don't really remember, like, I was trying to think, I can remember all the videos that have done well on my YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to remember where were streams where, like, things went really, really well. And I can't really think of any. I mean, that probably is also because you do so many streams. And a lot of them are kind of samey because you're playing the same games, especially if you've started playing something that's proved super popular. But I don't really remember any. I remember the one time I was on the Twitch front page, actually, now that I think about it. That's the one good memory I have. And it lasted like 20 minutes, if that. Because we were not good at the game, we were not having good matches. I doubt the banter was good. And then just like that, you're gone. Although these days you can't even just randomly get on the front page as far as I'm aware. It's all scheduled and planned out and whatnot. Which I guess is better, because then at least you're prepared and you could get in the right mindset. Like put on a good face, etc. Try and show your best. So one time a staff member was in my Twitch chat as well. That I know of, I should say. So I remember that. But every other memory I have is when something bad or just uncomfortable happened. Which I think is more a fault with the human brain, or maybe just my brain in particular, more so than in general. Well, I do remember something else I wanted to, like I was considering removing the founder badges from certain people who haven't been around for a while. Another one where they weren't directly doing something bad, but I was kind of lurking in their stream. This is years ago, and they were playing a game. I was lurking because I didn't want to talk in other chats because it just gave people carte blanche to shit talk me to my face where I couldn't ban them. Undeservedly, I would say. I don't think I ever did anything so egregious. Oh dear. Oh well, we'll just walk on poison blood. Let's quickly oh. Thank you, Guppy's caller. I was going to say we'll quickly restart because I'm mid-conversation. We probably still will. Sorry, hang on. I want to try and clear this room. Probably should have used ESOL to do it, but oh well. Can I blow up the vending machine in here? Kinda. Yeah, so I was lurking, watching someone play a game, hiding, because I didn't want people to know I was there, because it just gave them an excuse to shit talk. And I'd been burned previously prior to this I'm talking about. So anyway, they were just watching it, or I was watching rather, and they were, I don't remember what was being played, but someone who was playing the game with them just kind of out of the blue said, hey, do you want to hear a fun racist joke? Or a good racist joke, I think is the verbiage they used. And I don't remember if the person I knew who was streaming said yes. That I don't remember. But either way, there was then kind of a silence and then like clicky click clack clack, you know, that's the sound of typing, because they didn't want to say it on stream because it would get you banned. But they were clearly typing it in a Discord window, or this might have been Skype, I don't remember. This was like 2017, was Discord in 2017? And then there was a little bit more silence as people read what was typed, and then there was laughing. And then the person who said, do you want to hear a racist joke, said, yeah, that's a pretty good one, right? And then nothing else was said of it. But I couldn't help being like, are you really just going to let that happen? If that happened in my chat, one, I would say, or in a call in Discord, regardless of whether I was streaming or not, do you want to hear a racist joke? My answer would be no. Because I'm not racist. But with them being silent, that isn't necessarily them condoning it. I was thinking back, maybe it's similar to me not wanting to kick someone out of the call that I don't like. Maybe they don't want to cause a ruckus. And the ironic thing about that is the person who said and did that, not the person I knew. Again, just to be clear, not the person I knew. The person who said the joke, the quote-unquote joke to them, they are still a streamer now, and they are much larger and much more popular than me. Maybe they've outgrown what they were 5 years ago, but I look at that and I'm like, I wonder how many people would watch you if they knew you were like that. You'd probably still a few. There's a bunch of assholes out there. But the point was not to necessarily call out this person who is still streaming. It's more so the reaction of not saying, hey, don't do that. Like, fairly recently we had someone on my stream who does not speak English as a native language. It's a second language, and they said something that they did not know was offensive in English. They were told, don't do that, it's racist, don't do it again. And they apologised, and that was it. That's how the situation's supposed to go. And that seems like the normal way to do it. And yet, I guess, you know, it's just one of those things where not everybody's the same. Not everybody approaches every situation the same. Maybe they genuinely found it funny, maybe they didn't, maybe they just didn't want to cause a ruckus, like I said, and it's just part of that weird mentality when you're a streamer. You don't want to, what's the opposite of toe the line? What's the expression I'm looking for? You don't want to rock the boat, that's the one. You don't want to rock the boat. So you'd rather just say nothing instead of saying something. But that was the moment I lost respect for the person in question. I didn't necessarily have a lot of respect for them in general, not as in a bad way. But their handling of that, and then when they just randomly decided to stop coming to my streams, I was like, you know what, that's okay. I'm not going to miss that. I've never been... This is going to sound very ironic given what I was just talking about, but I've never been one for drama, especially internet drama, which is what I think I opened this by saying. It's just so tiring, and I was not prepared for the dramas that would happen when viewership increases to 300-400 people a night. You get exposed to so many different ways of thinking, and that's the politest way I can put it. You get taken out of context, people presume things about you. To this day, even with little viewership, people presume things. Like during COVID, when my anxiety got worse, one person criticised me in a VOD comment being like, hey, why don't you pay attention to the game anymore? It's really obvious you're not paying attention to the game. You're too easily distracted. Can you please stop doing that? It's distracting from the quality of your videos. And I usually would ignore that kind of comment, but it got me on a bad day, so I replied, hey, I've got severe anxiety issues that have gotten worse during COVID. I wish I could easily distract myself, because it would definitely help me get over anxiety issues when they crop up, but I can't. Please don't presume things just because you watch my videos that you know me. And I'm pretty sure that person has not watched anything I've done since, so all I did by answering was lose another viewer. But that's just another situation where I don't feel like staying silent was the right thing to do. They wrongly assumed something about me, but maybe you're just supposed to, I don't know, like accept that they've assumed something that isn't accurate and just live with it. Like, be okay with them being ignorant of how you actually are. But I don't like that. That's another problem I actually wanted to bring up last time I was doing one of these, is it's a problem when you're not putting on a persona. If you're putting on a weird... No, I shouldn't have said weird. That's not the right word. But if you're putting on a personality of some type, when you're streaming, like you're pretending to be like a dude bro, or, you know, overly sexual, let's say, or something like that, then insults against your persona is just like duck off a water's back. It doesn't matter, because you're acting, you're being your character. If people don't like your character, that doesn't necessarily mean they dislike you, it means they dislike the character you're portraying. But if you're streaming just as yourself, or if you're making videos just as yourself, the way you actually are, then it's impossible not to take criticism or misunderstandings or presumptions personally, because someone is misunderstanding who you are. It's not the same as misunderstanding or misquoting or misrepresenting the person you're pretending to be for a stream. I don't necessarily think having a persona for your streaming is better. I like streaming as myself for better or worse. But it does mean if anyone criticises the manner in which I handle myself on stream or in videos, it means they are criticising me, because it's just me. I've never felt the need to be a parody of myself or to put on a character. It's probably not necessarily a good thing because, again, in recent years it's become apparent that the manner in which I like streaming and the content I like creating is not what people want to see. Where are those tentacles coming from? Do you do that? What? Oh, they do that. Have they always done that? I don't think I've ever seen them do that. Unless the patch added it, of course. Weird. Well, we're back to almost dead, so, you know. I'm kind of spinning my wheels on the conversation now anyway. It's one of those things where it's just, it's stuff I've been thinking about. And it's hard not to be a downer about it, really, because, again, it's like... Failing as a streamer, if you're doing a persona, I feel like it's easier to handle than failing as a streamer who streams as themselves, because that's like failing as a person, which I think is the difference. Although I guess there is obviously some differences between a streaming personality and how you are in real life. Like, I sure as hell don't talk as much in real life. I prefer being quiet and observing and listening, and usually find it difficult to talk in public situations, whereas I can talk to hundreds of people on stream and not bat an eye. So there is some differences, but personality-wise it's the same. I'm just as sarcastic in real life, and I can actually prove it, because I was talking to my mother yesterday, and she said she was desperately going around the shops trying to find some baby milk for my sister, because my niece needs it. And I just instantly replied, is my sister aware that she can make her own? It took my mother a second to get what I was saying, but then she was like, you do know that if you stop feeding, then you stop producing, right? And I'm like, yes, I was telling a joke. Like, that's the... Caller? Caller. Like, that's just the way I am. I am a little bit of a sarcastic asshole. A little pompous. Good-hearted, I would say. I try and do right by people, but if people wrong me, I am also the incarnation of vengeance. And now we're gonna die. Damn it, caller! Hang on, if I stand here... Oh, you split into two. I lived, bitch. I mean, I guess we'll just go for the boss, because I'm out of things to talk about now. I'm just going to be repeating... Oh, no, it's Mom? That's not good. Yeah, we're definitely going to die here. How on earth did I ever get down to Mom's heart as this character? Well, I guess it's not this character, because Esau hasn't hit me once. I've had to... Pardon me, I've had to not sit still, which is annoying, but Esau isn't the reason the run is gonna suck or die. Aim assortment hasn't been terrible either. Our damage is okay. Lack of health, I've just been getting hit a lot. I'm surprised a random hand coming out the door hasn't stopped me yet. Missed. If that had hit, she would have died. There's the random hand coming out the door. Don't bring me... How many times is that now? 4? That would have been really handy. Oh! The poop dropped the heart. And then back to half heart anyway because I got double hit. I was trying to set up Esau doing good damage. Don't bring me back again. I'm okay. Let go, insert the picture of Link here. Okay, there we go. I hope you enjoyed this other... I get miserable and talk about everything that's wrong. Secret episode of Isaac. Don't tell the stream. Keep it between us, and there might be more in the future. Thanks for watching, though. Ta-ta for now.